stopping quickly in Silverscale only to be skeezed out and immediately leave because it was bad there. Like, the vibe was real off. I think we can all agree that the vibe was not... There was not a successful vibe check in that town.
No, it was
Agreed. The
not
red
friendly
check
at all.
not.
Yes. And we got to Ashstone. We discovered that the town was having some sort of interesting affliction where those of the human race or of human descended races were having restless sleep with really haunting dreams, and it was causing them to be completely exhausted. We secured Ruin Borden in for the evening, and in the afternoon reported the events of Silverscale, or at least attempted to report the events of Silverscale to the Law Hall, upon which we were recommended to not try and take it to the Law Hall, but actually take it to the military, which I believe Misted did alert some of the Blood Onyx that were standing around, and they decided to
She
take it.
contacted with Klee and
Yeah,
sent the
yeah.
letter.
Right. Klee got a letter off. We also discovered that we are definitely being followed by one of the Einkorps, who is basically has nothing better to do than to watch us because we're the most interesting TV show on at the moment.
Basically.
Correct.
Pretty much.
And in the morning, after a little incident with a certain object in Terrell's possession, causing a little bit of a ruckus in the morning, we attempted to go downstairs and receive breakfast, but only to discover that the innkeeper was incapacitated. After looking into it a little more, and a lucky passive perception from Misted, we realized that the water supply seemed to be tainted somehow. It had a purplish tint to it, which is definitely not good. After getting some information from the innkeeper, thanks to Nomad deciding that it was time to just make a sound loud enough to wake up a dragon. We managed to get the innkeeper to wake up, although he was quite disgruntled. He was willing to provide us with enough information for us to realize that there was definitely something going on with the water in town, and it was possibly related to all these sleep issues. We went to the law hall and reported our findings, upon which the Lord Mayor, well, so to speak, and the gnome at the reception desk penned up a contract for us to go and investigate the nearby water source for a pretty hefty reward, depending on what we find, provided that we are accompanied by one of the Blood Onyx to ensure that we actually do our job. After some more faffing around in town, checking in on the bookstore owner, and generally preparing ourselves to collect samples, we set out on our journey, guided by the Blood Onyx accompanying us. As we about an hour or so into this trek, we came up upon a sort of large group of rocks around which the Blood Onyx sensed something, and the rest of us, well, not most of us, but one of us managed to make the perception check to alert the rest of us that there was definitely a broken wagon and some blood. Upon further investigation, we found what we can only assume to be the group that goes out to collect water for the town and carts it back every week or so. Slaughtered and dragged all over the place. We got our weapons out at the ready and began to follow the trail only to be ambushed by some unknown assailants, the Blood Onyx guard with us taking an arrow himself and very nearly, well, very nearly losing his life to the sudden onslaught. He's still alive, which is a very good thing. And we left off right before we got into the thick of combat.
That is absolutely perfect. And with that, I need you all to roll initiative.
Heck.
What do you want us to roll it on, the D&D Beyond or the Roll20?
On D&D Beyond.
Okay.
That way I can just look over here and keep track.
Oh, we're starting it out strong, boys.
What?
Unfortunate.
Oh dear.
Oh dear, oh dear. We're in for trouble.
I do believe I did mention that Nomad stepped in front of the Blood Onyx last time, which I'm glad is represented by the position.
Mm-hmm.
Got a question.
What's up?
When it comes to Samson in combat, is he going on my turn, his own turn? What's happening?
He will be going on your turn.
Yes.
Yep.
Generally, for the sake of not cluttering up combats, mechanically, it was decided at some point during the Wizards of the Coast 5e planning that most companion type creatures that are either controlled by or accompany certain player characters just go on that character's initiative. It sort of streamlines things and makes it a lot easier for people to keep track of, especially
Oh,
DMs.
I know that, but each DM is different.
Sorry, I'm just noting out all of this. So, going off this initiative would be Terwin first, followed by the two of them, followed by Nomad, and then I believe Misty came after. Nope, sorry. Those two. And then Misty.
Where are you putting this order at? Because Lord knows I don't know.
On my piece of paper that I have in my hands.
That's unfortunate because I cannot see the order.
None of us can.
He will let us know when it's in our turn.
He's
And Tyrrell and
For it
Merrick
is
actually
the
tied. So, Tyrrell, what
Who
is
has the higher
your
dex?
what is your dex?
That's what it is.
Does he get a
I'm trying to
bonus
figure out the full number.
if he's
I know I have
writing?
Wait, what? There's bonuses.
Tyrrell's bonus is a 3.
Plus 3.
Yeah, my bonus is a 3. I
Right.
think it's 17. It doesn't tell me the outright number. I'm trying to find it on my page. Oh yeah,
Your-
17. I'm an
Yes,
idiot.
your
It just-
dexterity is 17.
Alright,
Yep.
so you will be going after Misty,
Okay.
and following you is Merrick. And then between Rolls Royce and Albrig and Samson, which it's just the three of you at the very two of you plus Samson at the very last. So you two can either go at the same time, or you can just choose whoever goes first, or we can do the dexterity.
If it was going off dexterity, it would be Elbrig and Samson first. As Elbrig has a +2 and Rolls Royce has a nothing.
You just
Oh,
said
boy.
dexterity, not intelligence.
No, initiative.
Oh,
Yeah, the
Well,
initiative, the dexterity goes to the initiative.
Yes. So,
yeah, I have a +3.
okay, in that case, your initiative is different. It should be a 7.
I just realized that he did that too. Yeah, so he would actually be going above Tyrrell.
Yes.
So, wait, did it not auto include that in the roll?
No, he did a custom roll.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
Alright, so after Misty would be Rolls Royce, then Tyrrell, then Merrick, and then Elbrig and Samson.
Yeah, I hit the wrong button. When you were telling us to roll for initiative, you just said to roll the d20, so I was like, okay, d20.
Yeah, with D&D Beyond, all of your little slots there that have like a plus, minus, 0, whatever.
Yeah,
You can just click on those and it'll roll it.
Yes, I know.
Alright, so first up would be Terrawin, who took an arrow and looking over. What you guys do now see as Nomad has stepped out into the fray and Terrawin is there beside him. Nomad, what you do see is there are now two individuals, one to each side of you on either side of the rock. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's quite obvious now this was an ambush.
Yes, these two boys.
And that their arrows that penetrated into Terrawin, that one came from directly in front of him across the way, being here,
Over here.
and the other one seemed to come from his right side over here.
Yep.
And you do see another individual with a crossbow back here.
Um,
So this being Terrawin is going to, yeah, he'll step over to here, and he's going to make a regular attack.
The gift for the gal who has
Which that does in fact hit because that is a pretty weak AC. And does 7 damage. Not too bad. And I believe that will be it for his turn, leading to the scouts, which are these two right here.
Mhm.
And one is going to fire at Terrawin. And that does not hit.
Thank God.
You just see an arrow literally just whiz by him and just ping off his shoulder guard again. And the other one is actually going to fire at Nomad. And I'm going to guess a 12 does not hit.
Nope. Right into the shield.
Yep, right into the shield. Alright. And with that, it is Nomad's turn.
The first thing Nomad is going to do is take a good look at these individuals. What he's specifically looking for is what races are they? Are they all one race? What's their equipment like? Does it look like they all come from the same group, or are they all different? And very specifically, what are they behaving like? Are they openly hostile, or are they, you know, seemingly off? He would
S-
also specifically be looking at their eyes.
As far as what you can see of their eyes, it's nothing like a slick.
Okay.
But they
So-
are a mix. There is a half-orc who happens to be over here. This individual here in what looks to be much heavier armor, but they all seem like really ragtag thrown together kind of outfits. Most of
Yes.
which are old pieces of metal armor that they've just kind of like picked up and scrounged and scavenged. Some
So-
are in like leather. This
more
one back,
likely, so it is more likely that these are bandits than they are, being controlled by outward forces.
yes.
Okay.
This individual back here, however, is a older, grizzled-looking human, and one thing that does stand out apparently by his armor is that it is torn up and like looks to be maintained to a degree as if like almost a religious type care has been put into this armor. And on this is the same chest symbol as that is what Terrawin is wearing.
Ah. There is clearly something going on here.
And this one back here seems to be of elven descent of some kind. She's just wearing hide and leathers.
Yes.
And the one over here also seems to be of like elven or half elven lineage.
Awesome.
This one over here appears to just be human.
Nomad's going to make notes of that and is going to step up and is going to, let's see. Yeah, we're just going to swing and hit.
Alright.
Does a 20 hit?
Absolutely it does. Go ahead and roll damage.
6 damage. Not a
Alright.
great roll, but
Not bad.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anything else for you?
After this, Nomad, as an afterthought, will yell back, "We are being assaulted by bandits."
All right, and that ends your turn.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next up would be the two grunts, and this one, having just taken a swing from you, is going to retaliate in kind.
Whee!
And I can guarantee you that is not fucking hit. So he's actually gonna. I swear to God.
I didn't do that on purpose. I was trying to lower the thing. I forgot I had the paint on.
Oh, that's how you do that.
Yes, yes, indeed.
Also, don't forget to measure from your token, not from in front of it.
I was trying, but trying not to blow
Oh.
a dingleberry.
So you can actually. Okay. I was wondering how the measuring system on this was
Yeah.
working.
He
That's
is
nice.
actually
That's
going
awesome.
to back over to here.
He does provoke an opportunity attack.
Go ahead.
Which, yeah, I'll go ahead and take that. Let's say,
Yep.
yeah, that'll probably hit.
Go ahead. His AC is pretty low.
That's a 10.
Another 10 damage to him.
Mm-hmm.
He is regretting that immensely.
Yep.
He goes to try to, like, you. After that first swing of his just kind of like deflected off your shield, you see just this momentary moment of, oh shit. And the half orc just suddenly just goes, oh yeah, fuck this, and just goes to run.
But in running, it takes an even severer blow right in
As
the
he turns to run, you just like carve straight through his back.
Mm-hmm.
And you see like
Nice.
bits and pieces of armor just kind of just fall off of him.
Nomad doesn't mess around.
And on
Apparently.
this guy, he's going to make a swing at Terrawin. That also does not hit. And he too is going to... Yeah. He would be trying to move back towards there. And Terrawin does actually get an attack of opportunity. That also misses. He's fidgeting with his helmet a little bit. Terrawin's having some issues with his helmet. It's just kind of like cockeyed a little bit.
Yes.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. But that will end their turn, bringing us to Misty.
Misty. Who would even meow meow? Well, I was already doing my little to figure out how far away that guy was.
Mhm.
I know that's a clump of trees right there, but I am assuming that there's no cover or anything. Like I could still very clearly make out the person, right?
So what she's actually like kind of like crouched inside of is just like a cluster of like small bushes and grasses.
Yes.
But I
Yes, you
Presumably
can
she
see her
was-
pretty clearly. She is not behind any kind of like substantial cover.
She was hiding previously in order to facilitate the ambush, but once everything was in position, she revealed herself in order to take a shot.
well, it doesn't quite. I wanted to say it in a specific way, but guiding bolt, guiding bolt, guiding bolt. Oh God, no.
That is a sad story.
So you guys all just see Misty just kind of go, wait, what the fuck? Oh, okay. And like doesn't even like focus, concentrate, nothing. She just points her giant paw out and just goes, and you see it go about like 15 feet out, and then just kind of it just fizzle out and just turn to sparkles.
Yes.
Bullshit.
Yes. You gotta be careful with those spells.
I see that. I see that. Well, that's a fun little fun.
If it makes you feel any better, you still have more spell slots than Nomad.
Does it make me feel better? Maybe not.
I mean, Nomad has 2 spell slots.
Eldritch Blast.
He doesn't even have that cantrip.
I know.
Oh, hang on. We had a long rest, and I am a dum-dum and never even cleared that.
That sounds like a you problem.
It's cool. It's fixed now. Don't worry about it.
All
My
right.
second level spell is now clicked off.
You do still have the option to move. And
Yeah.
each one of those
yeah,
squares is 5 feet.
Yeah.
Naturally.
Naturally.
Had to calibrate it.
You had to
Yeah, you
calibrate.
did it fucking amazingly.
Hmm. 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 Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
What class are you again?
Wouldn't you like to know, Rolls
Uh,
Royce?
Bitch.
I-
Yeah.
You would
We're-
know by now, having spent time around Misted, that you can tell that
Not really. What she is not very
Yeah.
common.
that's true.
And
It's not. It's
Misted,
definitely less common in this world. I didn't think about that.
Misted has not used any spells or done combat in front of him.
In fact, she's not even the one that did anything to help him.
Correct.
However,
doing
I
that
have
to
seen
him
her
as
this whole entire time, which means I see what armament and weapons she has, correct?
She has armor of a Seeker, which is a general role of an Archive of Aster initiate.
Indeed. And you can see that I am holding a mace, and I have a holy symbol upon my tail. And that's all you've got, fam.
So
Okay.
that
Well, out of
leaves to
technicality-
everything.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah,
and
we
you're
are.
right, it is an. Yes. I know
yeah,
what you are now. I know what you are now.
and that's that. Do I
So
being
5,
within range now? Do I have the chance to be bonky bonk?
Yes, you have the chance to be attacked.
Hit me,
Bonk
man.
bonk.
Well,
Alright,
no,
so
no, no,
you're
no,
gonna go there and end your turn?
Yes, So to
All
clarify,
right.
yeah, opportunity attacks in 5th edition are only provoked.
When you're
By
moving
default.
out of somebody's attack range.
Yes. So, for instance, if I were here and I attempted to move to here, then you would get an opportunity attack. But if I were here and moved to here, that is not moving out of your range, so you would not.
Got you. I understand now.
So now if wait.
I believe I was here. Yes.
Yeah. But
So, moving into range does not provoke, but on their turn they can choose to attack you if that's what they want to do.
alright, so that means next up is Rolls Royce. Ralligaller.
Relagalore. Really, you give me shit about my character's name, and meanwhile, half of the freaking town names you have in your game world, I can barely fucking pronounce.
What,
Anyway,
Ashstone?
after hearing
Silverspade?
Nomad scream out, "We're being attacked by..." No, I'm talking about the freaking capital, for example. Anyway, as I was saying, as all this commotion is going on, I hear Nomad scream out, "We're being attacked," so I look around and I notice that we're being... Back here where I'm at, I notice we're being surrounded by rocks, so like, hey, I can't see shit back here. So I'm gonna take a turn. Well, yeah, I'm gonna take my action to move, and right there, I'm on top of the rock structure, right? So I'm up.
How
I'm
much
elevated
movement
upwards.
speed do you have?
30 feet.
30.
Alright, 5, 10.
That's 20.
Well, also remember this is also higher terrain.
Yes. Usually, I believe it depends on how tall the rocks are, like what inclination they are.
Yeah.
Usually,
What is that inclination?
climbing as a part of a move action requires an athletics check.
Okay.
Well, actually, technically,
Yeah.
it's depending on how difficult the climb is. If it's not difficult, then it's just double movement.
Yeah, it's
Do you
not
want me to make an
terribly
athletics?
difficult terrain as it is rocks, and he is a fucking massive furbolg.
Sure.
But to climb up the one square, it takes double the space. So that would be 10 foot, 5, 10 foot, and then 5. So technically, you
yeah,
should
that's
be able to make
30.
it there.
I
Okay,
was going to
perfect.
say, there's very plainly a ramp. Like,
That's actually a piece of a cart.
Yes.
That's
okay,
what I
'cause it
thought. That's what I thought.
hardcore looks like a ramp, man.
It does actually, but then afterwards I thought about it and I'm like, oh, it's like a piece of one of the carts back there because there's
Yes.
stuff scattered all over the place.
It is.
If you were also
ragged-
like standing on, hang on, I'm gonna move Tiro real quick. You guys are also kind of like standing on like 2 dead bodies.
Yeah.
But yes, you can actually make it there. I just did the math.
Right.
Samson is being very petted right now.
Samson is incredibly petted right now. All right, so you have that position there. What are you gonna do?
All right. I'm gonna come up here. I'm gonna look around, and the archers back there. I can see both of them from where I'm at. Right. I'm at a
Yes.
good vantage point. All right. How do I do the ping thing so I can show you what I'm aiming at?
You can, yes, exactly like that. You can
Hold
hold,
your left.
if you have the regular mouse selected, you can just hold and click.
Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna hunter's mark that archer over there, and I'm going to line up my shot and fire.
All right. And that one is hunter's marked. Okay.
Baby, yeah.
All right, so that's a
Good
natural
one, I
20.
love.
Good lord.
Double
That
damage.
does hit.
Oh.
You
yeah.
roll one time and then just double the damage.
Okay. So
Yeah,
that'll be. Let's see here. That'll be 2d8s and a d6. And then you want me to re-roll that again, or do you just want me to double that?
Why is it 2D?
You roll regular damage, like as you would
Uh-huh.
like just if it wasn't a crit, and then just double it, like
Okay.
double the result.
30 damage altogether.
Why is it 2D8?
Yeah,
I get one d8 from my longbow, and I get the other d8 from Hunter's Mark.
Hunter's
I get
mark
the
is a
D6.
D6.
Yeah, it's a
yes.
d6. The d8 comes from my reckless nature for what is it again? I have it on there. I can't think about. It's on there somewhere. Features and traits. Favorite nature explorer, fighting style.
Are you referring to Colossus Slayer?
There.
Yes.
That's it,
That's if
Colossus
they've already
Slayer.
taken damage.
Yes.
Oh yeah, shit. So,
Alright, so 1d8 plus 1d6. So I'm gonna. Well, since it looks like the d6 rolled a 2, 1d. You can choose either the 7 or the 6 to remove.
remove the 6. So
All
that'll
right,
be 9 altogether, which makes
18. So either way, whichever one of those two you decided to remove, it doesn't matter. She takes the one hit square in the forehead,
nice.
and she just drops. So
Just
yeah,
call me the
that's,
walking ball stuff.
with that she's dead. All right, and I'm guessing that'll end your turn.
Yep.
We've already
He
looked
has used
around.
movement,
established
action,
what-
and bonus action.
All
I have.
right,
Yep, that'll
that
conclude my
means
turn. Go ahead.
Tyrell, it'll be your turn.
All right.
Your
how do
your
you do that
mount has
roller
escaped to the front lines. You no longer have your mount.
You can use your reaction if you would like to move your hunter's mark onto another person you can see.
It's gotta be.
thought
It's
that's a
gotta be.
bonus
It's a bonus action on a subsequent turn.
Okay, how did you do the roller thing?
It's the turn
In
for-
your upper left of your screen, you should see a little bar that has a no arrow. The third one down is a ruler. Click
Ah,
that, and then measure from your token outwards.
Gotcha. So I should be able to reach this square like right here.
Yes.
Yep.
This one here?
This one with the little like bale, whatever it is.
Okay.
Yes.
Right.
That might be a book.
Actually,
Couldn't tell you.
from that vantage point from Rolls Royce, by the way, that does actually reveal that.
Hmm.
Surprise! There's nothing there.
Oh no. All right,
Holy
with
shit.
this vantage point, am I able to see this person?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna attack them.
All right.
Move dice. I can't see what I rolled.
You rolled a 15.
Hit, no hit.
And on him, that will hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
All right. 11.
Ow.
Damn.
All right. You see, all you see is this blue blur just kind of like fly around the rock and like strike a pose, pull his bow, and fire. And the man is just so captivated by what he's seeing, he just takes it square in the fucking shoulder. Alright, I deserve that one.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, oh fuck, I thought I was a fairy.
They've
The
never
fairies
seen
are
a blue
everywhere.
tiefling before.
That's fair. And then, what the hell is this thing?
You mean him?
Yeah, what is he?
He's a human.
Okay.
He is a grizzled, battle-hardened veteran, surprisingly wearing what appears to be tarnished Blood Onyx armor.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna put my hunter's mark on him for my bonus action. Then call it.
Alright. And we will put a hunter's mark there. Alright, and after Tyrul comes Merrick. So, the grizzled veteran that you guys have now noticed sees all this kind of going down, and he notices Terwin now kind of like standing up and on full guard now. He's fixed his helmet. Terwin has managed to like correct his helmet so it's back on his head the correct way. And he just looks over and you see this individual, this human, pull out what looks to be a chipped and scarred up long sword. And just kind of holds it out across his chest and then motions towards Terwin. A few moments pass, and then you see a slight orange glow envelop him.
Knowledge Arcana, perhaps?
Go ahead.
Oh, wait. I don't have to pull out my dice. Shit, I should have pulled out my dice.
Not really sure what's going on with it, but it is rather interesting. Although you do see him then motion the sword back towards his chest, and you hear him state, I am Merrick Stonesworn. Should Dream call me, honor my son. To which Terwin then turns to him, and you see him put his sword to his chest as well and nod. Merrick will then step up to Misty and is going to make an attack.
Strike me.
That is the intent. So does a 24 hit?
Unfortunately, yes.
Alrighty. And you will be taking. Hang on. Gotta get the actual, really nice dice out for this one.
Oh no, he's gonna hurt me with the dice I bought him.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucked up.
Irony.
Well, you bought him those dice with the intention for him to use them, correct?
Listen, I wanted him to
You,
hit
Misty.
me, not Misted.
Misty, you take 13 points of damage.
13.
13 points of slashing damage.
Listen, eat Misted's whole entire butt cheek. That's what happened. The sword lopped it off.
Alright.
So what you're saying is you ain't got no ass anymore.
And for his second strike,
Misted do be suffering at no acetol.
that would be a 18 to hit.
So 18's my armor class, so
Yeah. Oh boy. You now take an additional 9 damage.
someone get this man away from me. I fucked up.
Don't worry. When it comes back to my turn, I'll help you out.
And that would be ending his turn. Which now brings it to Elbrig and Samson.
Hello, yes man with dog.
Alright, since Oberg is normally top Samson, so I can keep up with the rest of you. Just going to continue with that. So Samson has a movement of 40 feet.
Okay.
It's right there. As we travel, Elbrig, who is clutching Samson's collar that has his lantern on it, will use lantern, which is his focus. So go ahead and chant a spell, and he gives
Can I share a
Samson.
realization I've just had?
What's that?
Mhm.
This party has 3 rangers, doesn't it?
2.
Yes, it does. Oh yeah, no, 2.
2.
But yeah, we go ahead and give Samson Dragon's Breath,
All right.
Oh,
Yep.
and then as we line up the enemies and we get there, Samson now empowered Dragon's Breath. We say, "Samson, speak!" And Samson will, give that deep bark, and out will come a cone of cold. Did I double cast? I double cast.
It would technically be Samson activating that ability, wouldn't it?
Yes.
So that would be
No, I was just
both your
making-
turn and his turn.
I'm technically sorry. I'm technically using Samson as a controlled mount. Otherwise, he'd be doing his own thing. So, Dragon's Breath is a bonus action spell, and then my action is to tell Samson to speak. So my action, and then a cone of cold blasts out in a 15-foot.
All right. And
Because of the way you're positioned, should only hit the bad guys and not our kitty friend.
also, a 15-foot cone can be this.
Not from what the template says.
as long as it's
That-
centered on, or the origin point is there, that triangle can turn.
Yes.
Well, I mean, even if I don't really need to turn it for it not to hit the cat, because it's 1, 3, and 3. It doesn't really matter.
Okay, now you're just aiming for Rolls Royce.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I am not doing that.
That puts me
Alright.
in the cone.
No, I was
Um,
demonstrating 15-foot cones. you
Is that a
idiots.
DC to reduce?
Yes,
Bad
it is
DC
a
for half.
DC to
Cool.
take half.
It's a dex save of 14 to take half.
All right, so the grunt there fails outright, and Merrick succeeds, which
So
means
Garfield
that
takes 7 cold damage, and Merrick takes 3.
yep. All right, so Merrick is down to okay.
Is that grunt still alive?
That grunt is still alive. He is hurt, but he's still alive. He's still panicked and freaking the fuck out, but he's still there. Let's see.
And that is all she wrote.
All right. And that'll be ending your turn. It is back to Terowin, who, seeing all this kind of going on, you do see him move past Tyrell and steps about right there. And just doesn't do anything else, just holds the sword to his chest. And that'll be ending his turn. That scout is dead. So Scout 2, being this lovely one over here, is going to move over to here.
Where's Tinkles going?
Are you asking where Tinkles is going?
His name is Tinkles now.
It's not his turn yet. I'm guessing you're referring to this one as Tinkles?
No.
This one.
Tinkles.
She mean the scout.
Or the grunt?
Well, I meant more or less Tinkles here. Tinkles here that is disappearing towards a mysterious black void we can't see. Granted,
Worry about that when you get there, won't you?
no, I will worry about it right now.
Anyways, you will see her then kind of post up and... Yeah, most of the damage is... Yeah. She's gonna take aim at Tyrell. Yeah, that she rolled a straight 19, so I'm gonna guess that hits. And where did it go? I just had it. There it is. And Tyrell, you're gonna take 7 points of damage.
Okay.
And she is going to now attempt to sink into the bush and hide. Does not work. You see her
Attempt
kind
failed.
of move further over this way, and then she kind of goes to crouch into the bush, and then you just see like a bunch of like small like squirrel-like creatures just and like just scatter out. It didn't go very well. And that ends her turn, bringing us to Nomad.
Seeing that this seems pretty well in hand, Nomad is going to yell, "We should keep one of them alive." Looking to see if anybody noticed that he said something.
Yeah, Misted's definitely gonna agree with you there.
Yeah.
And then Nomad's going to go over here.
Jesus Christ, just zipped right over there.
Whee!
It's only 20 feet.
No, on my screen, like it wasn't like a slow, gradual pull. It just suddenly.
Yeah, that's how it works. You
Nomad,
can't see people moving their icon, but you can see where it ends up when they stop.
Nomad just fucking road runners up to this dude like, "What's up, bitch?"
I mean, technically, if you want to do where it shows you exactly how you moved, if you left click your token and hold it as if you're going to drag it, and you move it to the next place, and right click again to leave a dot, back
Yes,
again.
that takes time.
I mean, it's pretty quick. I'm just saying.
It'll be
shows
fine.
exactly how you move.
Alright. So you go up to the one that Misty is now affectionately called Tinkle.
Yes.
Tinkle.
Tinkle.
Since this situation seems mostly paid attention to by everybody else, I'm going to go ahead and see what I can do about this. We're going to go ahead and just attack him straight.
Alrighty. Yeah, that hits.
This is going to be non-lethal damage. Say 6. We are attempting to incapacitate right now.
He is still standing. And
That's fine.
unlike his half-orc counterpart, he just seems now more pissed.
Good. I don't have to chase him, so I can bonk him more.
Alright, does that end your turn?
That does end my turn.
Alright. That brings us to Tinkle. I'm sorry, but now his name is now Tinkle. I can't question it.
That
I
is fair.
love that the one I have named is the one we have decided we are keeping. It's like our poor little pet.
Alright. And he's down to, yeah, he's not got too many options left.
Other than, the really obvious one.
Alright, so actually, since you're over here, reveals that.
Cool.
Oh.
And you will, yeah, he has no real options left. You see him, because he had what looked to be like a busted up buckler on one arm. You see him just kind of throw it down to the ground, and then he just kind of like rips the armor a bit, grabs the sword, and just swings as hard as he fucking can. And to no avail. Just, he goes down to swing, and Nomad, not being able to, be intimidated by something like this, just kind of like swats the strike away with his shield, and just continues to deadpan stare at him. A little bit unnerving.
Nomad kind of does that sometimes.
Mhm.
Is unnerving, I mean.
Big facts.
All right, and yeah, that ends his turn. Misty, it's up to you. You are hurting.
It's
I am-
especially worse because, like, you would assume that somebody staring you down with a death stare, you would at least see their face. Or even eyes.
But no.
You just see a flat piece of porcelain under a hood. It is
Indeed.
carved porcelain, but that's it.
I'm a dumb. I
Oh,
just
no.
realized the spell slot I clicked off was not the right one. I mean, I only noticed it because I was looking at my spells and was about to cast another one, and I was like, "Wait a minute, that one was supposed to be cast at first level." Oopsie
By the way,
doopsie.
if you are
Too late
targeting
now.
anybody that is in your direct area right there, you will be rolling with disadvantage to cast a spell unless it's a touch spell.
I know. Hmm. Hmm. Well, but Misted is going to say a very quiet prayer and just kind of hold her chest for a minute, take a deep old breath with some cure wounds. Ooh.
All right, you heal yourself for 13 damage.
Cool, you have negated that first blow.
I surely did. If you only knew how needed that was.
Oh, I know exactly how close that was.
Oh, I know you do. We're talking 2 hit points, my loves. 2.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Guess whose turn it is?
So, Misty, you're all done. You're
not
not going to
quickly.
move or anything?
Well, that's the problem. Can't be doing all that. Can't be doing all that.
You could. It's probably a bad idea.
Yeah, it's a bad idea.
Hold your
Yeah,
ground.
no, we're gonna sit put with our little mason shield and just kind of don't hit me.
All right. Up next is Rolls Royce.
Okie dokie. I will be transferring my hunter's mark to that dude right there. And I will be lining up my shot and I shall fire. And fuck me.
Well, as you go to fire, you see the eyes on him are still staring kind of at Terwin. And as you fire your arrow, it's almost instinctual. You just see that orange glow kind of flare slightly, and the arm just strikes up and just swats the entire arrow out of the air.
Hmm.
Now it does, in fact, kind of like slap off of the half orc's face a little bit, but no damage.
That's figures. Well, I think there's like one more thing I can try. Can I cast Detect Magic to see if there's anything around here?
I believe Detect Magic is an action.
Yeah, I believe that would be a full action.
Oh, I thought it was a bonus action. For it being a floor block, I thought. No, never mind. Anyway, I will concede my turn.
All right. Next is Tyrell.
Okay. Am I able to hit this guy?
Yes. If you can hit him.
The correct answer is, am I able to hit this guy? Maybe.
You can certainly try.
You should be asking the dice.
This is true. I'm also going to use my bonus action to use my
Because you already have your
Planar
hunter's mic
warrior.
on him, by the way.
Mhm.
Okay, making sure.
Yep, I'm using my planar warrior ability.
Okay.
And I'm going to roll to attack him.
So, yep, that hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Plus 1d6
5.
for Hunter's Mark.
Yep, plus d6. Where are all my dice? There they are. Roll. And then plus another d8. Roll. Oh god.
Oh god.
Ooh.
18 damage.
All right. You just see him just kind of line up this one shot, and with just a slight flick of Tyrrell's wrist, it just kind of seems to, the arrow seems to hum, just very ever so slightly. And as he fires, usually arrows give off this slight whistling sound when they fly. This one just more or less vibrates as it goes through the air. And you see it kind of hit and impact, and then a moment passes, and then it seems to just kind of like impact again into Merrick. And he just kind of, oh, fuck. But he's still standing.
And that is the end of my turn.
All right. And speaking of, next up is Merrick. He kind of reaches down and just slams his arm down and just snaps the arrow that you just put into his side. And just kind of flexes a little bit, rolls the shoulders, and without even like looking at any of you, he seems to just kind of push past Elbrig and Misty and walks directly over to Terwin. I'm going to move that Hunter's Mark over to here. There we go. And immediately makes 2 attacks against him. Which, that one will hit. And Terwin takes 12 damage.
Uh-oh.
Okay. And as for the other one, negative. That does not hit. Alright. So you literally watch Merrick walk up to Terwin, and just in a moment, you see the two of them just immediately just turn and go straight into combat. And as he swings down, the first one kind of just cleaves past the armor and just cuts straight into where his shoulder and neck meet. And just cleaves straight in, pulls out, and then he goes to strike again, and Terwin just turns up and just strikes the blade aside. The second one doesn't hit. And next up would be the scout, who, seeing how this is going at this point, she realizes very quickly that this is not a good time, and she is going to run
Chicken
off,
shit.
bringing us to Nomad.
Do I notice where she ran off to?
You notice that she started running south.
Awesome. I'm going to... Let's see. Yeah. I have something I'm preoccupied with at the moment. Oh dear.
That's a crit.
It's non-lethal, but... Oh dear.
So as delicately as you try, you do deal substantial damage to this man.
Yeah, I'm smacking him with the side of, like, the flat of my blade, but,
It
I
may
may have
or may not
swung
just
a little
caved
hard.
in whatever it just hit.
It was probably most of his side.
Yeah, that's several collapsed organs, a ruptured spleen, at least a few fractured spinal column. Like, he is just completely fucked.
He's down for the count.
Very, very much so.
Is he dead?
He's on death's door. Very much.
Nomad?
Previous to that hit, he had 8 health. With Nomad's hit, that was
He's
30
going
damage.
No. It accounted for the crit already.
Oh, did it?
So the way,
Okay, so yeah.
yeah, it rolled 2 dice and then added the modifier.
Okay.
So it's just 15.
Alright. But yeah, so he is on death's door, and actually on that moment, that does come to his turn. And
I'm
that's
not
a
done.
failed save.
I'm not done, actually. I have things to do.
Oh
Specifically,
boy.
Nomad has things to do.
Indeed.
Indeedly.
Nomad is going to be moving to space directly south of the one he's in.
Actually, she was 1, 2.
She was here.
Alright, yeah, that would be it. So Nomad's going over there to investigate?
Well, Nomad is running off as far as he can to chase after that person. He has 5 feet left of movement after moving to that space. Awesome. Would I see her?
Yes. She is full sprinting. Although she
Okay,
does
where-
appear to be wounded.
Can I make a quick perception check to see if she's leaving a blood drip trail?
Sure.
I was gonna say, she hasn't been hit yet, has she?
Not by any of you.
That's a 14.
There does appear to be some kind of wound to her leg. And there appears to be small scatterings of blood where she's running. Or attempting to.
Well, she won't get far then. No idea how she got wounded, which Nomad is then going to be more alert and be looking in the immediate area. Although, he'll have to do that on his next turn, because he's already done too much right now.
Mm-hmm. Alright, and that
Actually,
brings us to the Grunt's turn, I believe.
Yes.
And he
It's
just
Tinkle's turn.
failed his, Tinkle just failed his saving throw. So now it goes to Misty.
What about this guy?
He's not moving. I know, the one that's up here, he's not doing anything. I was just sitting thinking, I'm like, the only option he has is to attack Misty. But at this point, he's got Rolls Royce up there, Elbrig with the dog that just spewed fucking ice from its mouth.
Does
Yeah,
he appear? Yeah. It would be good to look to see whether or not he's putting his weapon down and cowering in fear before we attack him again.
he's kind of like clutching it to his chest a little bit, and is shaking a little bit, but he seems to be on the verge of wanting to run. This group does not seem very tight-knit.
Makes sense.
Alright.
Okay, Big Cat.
Big Cat go smash.
Who Big Cat smashing?
Big Cat no want this man move.
Okay,
Are you ready, Seti?
go for it.
Big Cat go smash? No!
Big Cat go to swing. Big Cat suddenly have blood just splooge out. Big Cat reconsider.
Yeah. You move to swing your mace, and as you do, your gaping shoulder wound opens up
Just-
again and starts dripping down your arm, and you decide that it's probably best not to do that right now.
I would like to take a moment to talk to you about our sponsors, Physical Dice, because the electronic ones clearly despise me.
I mean,
Don't worry, the physical ones do too.
you want to know how badly
Woo!
Tinkle failed his death save?
Did you use real dice for Tinkle?
Yes, he rolled a 2.
Hey, at
Oh.
least it's not a nat 1.
If it was a nat 1, it would have been 2 fails. He
Just
was
so we're-
that close.
Just so we're clear, some DMs would have taken me rolling a nat 1 just now to mean that I kneecapped myself trying to hit this man.
Mhm.
Just so we're clear. So thank you for not
You've
making
suffered
me
enough
kneecap.
as it is.
Yeah.
You stepped
Anyway.
up to the plate against Merrick first and immediately realized why that was a bad idea.
Misted had decided that melee's not for her, and she's going to attempt to step out of this man's range. This
Alright.
one.
Seeing this and seeing you try to swing and then just the blood sport, a little bit of confidence comes back to him. He is going to make an attack of opportunity against you.
Okay. How'd that go?
It's a straight 17 plus 2, so 19.
Unfortunately, that do be slapping. Oops.
Alright, which one? Where are you at? Where are you at? There you are.
I love that I have bonuses to hit, and I
Hello.
still
This
can't
is
hit
your Dungeons & Dragons PSA. There is an action within 5th edition that you can take called the Withdraw action. If you take this action on your turn, no movement you make provokes opportunity attacks. Thank you.
Isn't that technically disengage?
It's
Yes.
disengage. But, yeah, you take 9
Getting it
points of
mixed up with-
damage.
Getting it mixed up with Pathfinder.
Listen, I'm not used to 5th edition. You need to give me a minute. But thank you for the reminder, Mr. 5th edition PA man.
Yes, Misty, you take 9 damage.
Gorgeous.
Still alive.
She's still alive. She's still conscious.
She exists for now.
Remember, kids, this is not what they mean when they say heavy petting.
No. That's tragic. Okay, well, yep, that's gonna be that.
Alright, so next up would be Rolls Royce.
Since my hunter's mark is still on that dude, I'm gonna line up another arrow and fire at him.
Alright. You can go ahead and roll an attack. That is dexterity plus
Really?
Yep.
That's the exact same thing I got last time. What the hell?
Also, to clarify, a dex check does not equate a full attack, because it doesn't include your proficiency bonus.
It does not.
Nope.
There should be a... where is it?
Oh, it'd be +5, not +3.
Yes.
Do you have... Yeah, where it says longbow, you just click it.
Yes.
Where it says
Oh, I didn't know you could
+7.
just click.
Yep.
Oh, shit.
So in the future, that is what you can do.
Yeah, I did not know you could click the actual thing in your inventory. I thought you had to click something else.
Yeah.
There are many things you can click.
I see this.
They have many buttons that they've included for your pleasure.
But yeah, so
Okay,
for
these
future
buttons-
reference, that's all you gotta do. Just click the pluses of whatever it is you're using.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that 7, you said it would be a +5. Yeah, it's still misses.
Mm.
This time he just kind of like watches it go past and looks at you and kind of gives you a, really?
Fuck.
And then proceeds to
Anyway.
go back into combat with Terowin. Alright, anything else?
Nope, that's all I can do for right now. Unfortunately.
Alright. And that brings us to Tyrell.
I'm gonna run it back. I do the same exact thing to him I did last time. So this man, wait, there we go. That man right there
Did Merrick?
gets the planar warrior put against him,
Alright.
and I'm gonna roll for an attack on him. Nope.
Nope.
He learned to dodge this time.
So as you fire, he hears that as you fire the arrow, and on instinct now you see that orange aura kind of flare up again, and he just smacks it off to the side again, and then goes back and being locked in combat with Terowin.
Okay. I'm then going to use my movement and just go right here.
Okay.
I think. Hold on. Sorry. One down. Now.
One down.
All right.
Alright.
That is the end of my turn.
And that brings us to Merrick, who, still locked in with Terrawin, is going to make another additional 2 attacks. And that'll hit. And you know what, just for sake of speed. And that will miss. Yeah, that's only 6 points of damage. Ooh. All right. Terrawin's looking pretty fucking hurt. But he's still standing. He's the guard.
Initiate Operation Heal the Baby.
This was the guard, right?
Yep, that's Terrawin.
Okay. For some reason, I thought he was. Wait, who did the my son thingy? Honor my son or something? Was that
Merrick.
Terrawin? Merrick? And where's Merrick?
He's the one everyone's currently attacking.
Oh.
His name is Merrick
Mer-
Stonesworn.
Okay, and he was. I thought Merrick was the guard. Okay, never mind.
Terrawin is the Blood Onyx guard that you brought with you. Merrick is the one that's proclaimed this challenge.
Okay.
All right, and that brings us to Elbrig.
How hurt is Merrick looking?
He's doing all right. He's hurt, but he's doing all right.
And this guy is bleeding out, right?
Yep. And the one all the way down here, she is attempting to flee.
And this guy, his condition?
He's hurting pretty bad and seems to be on the verge of wanting to flee as well.
Look, he did take a pot shot at the cat.
Mm-hmm.
So we move right here, and then did the cone thingy. Said it was off the.
All right, you're gonna rinse and repeat.
I didn't mean to draw that. I didn't do the fucking. You said the cone could be, well, yeah, like that.
Yep. It would be from the corner of one of your squares, but it would hit both. Yes.
Sure. So not hitting the cat. We'll go ahead and command Samson to speak. We'll bark out again. DC 14 dex save from the both of them for half damage.
All right. Let's see. Merrick will. You said 14, right?
Yeah, DC 14.
All right. Merrick will save again. And wow. Okay. So he saves too.
Real quick, we're gonna go ahead and tap into our sorcerer's nature, and we're gonna spend one of our, I believe, 3 sorcerer points, and use empowered spell. When you roll damage for a spell, you may spend 1 sorcery point to roll up to 4 of the dice. Reroll 4 of the dice. You must use the new rolls. You can use this option if you already used metametric option. So we're gonna reroll the 2 and the 4, hopefully trying to get higher.
All right.
2d6. All right, we did. So it'd be 16 damage, I believe.
All right, so 16 damage. They both actually ended up succeeding, so that cuts it down to 8.
Mm-hmm. And then after that, that was an action from the concentration of Dragon's Breath. we're gonna go ahead and use another sorcery point. Actually, we're gonna use 2 because someone said protect the baby. We're gonna use our 2 other sorcery points to quicken a spell,
Mhm.
and we'll lean over and touch the guard we're next to,
Okay.
and we will give him a first level cure wounds, and he'll heal for 12. Sorry, max.
All right.
And that will
And
be our turn.
he seems to be revitalized now. All right. And that brings us to Terowin. And Terowin is going to now, like, kind of flex a little bit. And as you touch the healing, he kind of just breathes a little bit easier. And then you see him reach up with his offhand and rips his helmet off and throws it to the side. And you now are able to actually see his appearance. And probably not what you were expecting. But what you do see is a rather tall half-orc. And actually, I have his notes here. You see a crop of short, straight black hair with really scarred, like deeply scarred golden skin. And just slightly more protrusive tusks sticking out. And he rears back and he's going to make a full-on swing. And that will hit. And that is 10 points of damage. And it will be Terowin's turn. And that brings us to the scout, who is still attempting to flee. And she is going to... I can't really fully move her off, but she will be going that way.
Yes.
And she has... Yep. Alright. And that will be her turn, bringing us back to Nomad.
Nomad is going to decide it's not worth chasing her now that he knows she's actively wounded and fully fleeing. He is somewhat wary of the fact that she was wounded when nobody attacked her. So he's going to take a look around one last time to make sure that there's nothing going on in the underbrush that he needs to be paying attention to as a bonus action.
Okay.
This is well, he doesn't see anything.
Yep. You can't really tell much. There's a lot going on.
Oh. In that case, I'm gonna move up to here. And action. Let's see. We may as well. Within a 10-foot radius. So if it's from here, I believe. Yes. So he's going to point his finger, and from right behind this dude, a ear-shattering sound is going to erupt.
Okay. Guessing you're casting Thunderclap.
Close. We're casting Shatter.
Oh! Is there a save roll on that or no?
Shatter is a Constitution save to half damage.
Well,
Both Merrick and this dude would be hit.
All right, what is the DC on that?
It's a 14 con.
So Merrick does save. Unfortunately, homie
other
in
guy
the
doesn't.
back does not save.
A wave of thunderous force rips through his whole goddamn body and does 18 damage.
All right, and Merrick takes 9.
Yes.
Oh, he's looking really fucking rough.
Yeah.
So, I want you to know at the moment of casting that, the unfortunate grunt in the background there had 1 HP. I want you to know that after casting that, you see his body kind of shake, and then drop, and then a foot just slams down onto the ground one more time, and you see him just kind of rear his body back up again. Did you forget he was a half orc?
Ah, yes. He's probably not pleased with this turn of events.
He is not. And he still has 1 HP.
Yep.
Was it end your turn?
That does indeed end my turn.
All right. That brings us to Tinkle
Oh, well,
and his friend.
Actually, Ricky. Half-orc relentless endurance. When you are reduced to 0 hit points but not killed outright, you can drop to 1 hit point instead. That would have dropped him to -17.
No, no matter what, if he would go down, he comes back at 1.
No. The wording is when you are
Killed
reduced
outright
to
would have been a 3-turn hit. I believe in that sense, killed outright would be no death saving throws. Killed outright.
What is his maximum HP?
Okay, so
32.
The main point though is with half orcs you can't really kill them outright. If you would die, you would instead drop to 1.
Mhm.
If you would go unconscious or death, the half orc point is that you instead drop to 1 as your endurance keeps you alive.
Yeah, I believe what it's referring to in the instance of being reduced and not. I'm sorry. In the instance of being an instant kill, being something like power word kill, where it is, and it's in the description that they are just dead. That's what's referring to as it wouldn't work. Typically, when you drop below 0, unless it's literally 3 times their usual maximum health.
It is the so the way that it works is instant death. Massive damage can kill you instantly. When damage reduces you to 0 hit points and there's damage remaining, you die if the remaining damage equals or exceeds your hit point maximum.
Yeah, his hit point max is 32.
So he's not happy.
No, he's not.
He is real rough shape right now.
He's at
There's
1 HP.
A lot of blood.
And let's go with Tinkle. A moment of silence for our friend.
Did he roll a 1?
That's a 1.
Ooh, he's dead.
In the arms of Nomad caved in your ribcage. He was trying real hard to be non-lethal, but
So, yeah, he's just. You had a good run, Tinkle. We'll miss you. Also, on this note, yeah, Tinkle 2 over here is going to see the means as to what is going on, and yeah, he is going to dip the fuck out, spending action and bonus action to haul ass. Well, he's dashing, so.
yes, so he uses his action.
And he is somewhere up there. But he is gone.
Pitch, how could you let Tinkle and Tinkle 2 just fuck off?
Listen, Tinkle 1 is dead.
I know, and who killed him?
It was me.
It was an accident, man. And
I don't believe you.
that brings us to Misty.
Listen, the fates decided. They made their decision through the dice. It was his
So-
time, man.
It was his time, man. So you say he's somewhere up there. I'm assuming that's because I can no longer see him, correct?
Yep. He took the fuck off, and he ran past that tree and is over the hills and far away.
How far can he fucking get with a dash?
60 feet.
60 feet.
60 feet.
60 feet. Yep.
Yes. From where he was standing, right here, he is 60 feet away. In that direction.
We're running, kiddos. I'm going that way.
You running after him, you see him hauling ass.
I would actually be 5 feet more than that, but I can't. That's the end of my screen, yo.
Mm-hmm.
Now here's the question.
How far away is he?
That's not the question.
Yes, it is.
No. The question has to do with a certain action you just decided consciously to take. Which
Yep.
we discussed earlier.
Oh, god dang it, no!
As you go to leave. So what's your AC again?
18.
That's a 21.
Fucking hell, man! I need you guys to, come find my dead body.
Well, you're going to
As a
drop on the
simple-
spot.
Don't worry,
Oh, no,
she'll
no,
go
it seems like
skidding
that-
across the way after taking an additional 9
So
damage.
don't worry, it seems to have ragdolled into this bush over here.
Oh my god.
She took an additional 9 damage on that.
I'm gonna need you guys to save me.
I think the important question
Is the
here-
cat unconscious?
Oh, that cat is very unconscious in a bush somewhere.
So she would actually be like right here.
Yes.
Pray for him.
If a opportunity attack reduces a creature to 0 hit points, their movement is cancelled.
Mm-hmm. So,
No, man.
Rolls Royce, it's your turn.
Oh, goody. Decisions. The main dude in the middle here that everybody's ganging up on, he's at 1 HP, correct?
No.
No.
The one
No?
that took off and was hauling ass straight north, which would be
He was at 1?
him.
Yes.
He was at 1.
You could tell that he took a real heck of a lot of abuse during this combat, and he is
Right.
fleeing for his dear life. He is, however, still in longbow range.
Oh yes, I know my longbow range. I know that. I'm trying to think though. Well, if he's only got 1 HP, I really don't need my hunter's mark if I land a hit on him.
Mhm.
Yeah, screw it. I'm gonna turn my attention to that guy as he's running away, having seen Misted epically fail and then skid underneath a bush. I
What,
will
honey?
take up my.
Alright, so you're gonna turn and take a shot at him?
Yes, and I'm going to. There it is. All right, here we go. It's my +5, right, for the dex?
Yes.
Like, I'm trying to click on the actual thing in the inventory, and it's not doing shit. well.
You should see under actions, the actions tab. Under
longbow.
Actions, it should.
Underneath hit DC.
Yes.
Just left click it.
Oh, there. I was on the wrong page. Shit.
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Does a 19 hit?
Yes!
Can we all
Yes,
have a
it
moment of
does.
silence, the Tinkle Brothers.
The Tinkle Brothers. Go ahead and roll your damage.
All right. It'll be one of those and one of those. Nice.
Oh yeah,
It would be a 6, yes. It would be a 6 plus your dexterity modifier, which it should include under damage in your actions.
Yeah, you can just click on
Yeah.
the action or the damage portion of it as well.
Yes.
Where
So
did the
it'll roll.
extra D6 come from?
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
He was including Hunter's Mark.
Ah,
by accident.
He didn't have Hunter's
No,
Mark
I
on him.
was.
It
Longbows are
would,
supposed to be.
however, include Colossus Slayer, so that should be
Mhm.
2d8 plus your dexterity mod. So it would be 6 plus 3, which is 9, because it's your dex mod, plus another 1d8 because of Colossus Feller.
Oh yeah, I got
Well-
it mixed up. So it's actually 2d8s. Yeah, I could have just hit that.
Regardless, he's he's dead. He's down.
Oh yeah.
There's well, he's not outright dead. He's not like the scout was, but it's pretty well. Yeah, he's down. He's gone.
Your arrow went through a
Straight
location-
through the back.
yes, kind of like a rotten tomato, honestly.
And you
So
see
it
just
seared right through him.
It does make a very sound, like a wet raspberry.
all right. He's off in the distance up there, bleeding out. And
Stop.
you got anything else?
Nope, that's all I got.
All right, and that will bring us to Tyrell.
all right. I'm gonna move to right here,
Okay.
and I'm gonna attack this guy again, doing the same setup, focusing on him from bonus action, and attacking. 16.
That does not hit.
Oof. He has mastered the dodges.
Now more like a panic flurry. You see that arrow, and again that orange flare comes to life again, and he just turns and just smacks out of the way, and then turns and swings right back onto Terrawin once more. Anything else you got?
Nope, that's all.
All right, and that'll actually bring us to Merrick, who is yet again going to make 2 more attacks towards Terrawin. Actually, no, she's dead. Actually, yeah. He is going to make 1 attack on Terrawin, and the second attack is going to be going onto Elbrig. First attack misses. It's a 3. Straight 3, so...
Well, of course it did.
Right?
After Terowin took off his helmet and revealed that he's so gorgeous,
Right.
he now has plot armor.
And the second attack is going to be 11.
Wow, that just barely misses.
All right, he's just so flustered. Just the golden skin, just the scarred golden skin, and just the tusks. They're just so beautifully maintained. Just he just can't focus anymore.
Mm-hmm.
He misses both attacks, and that brings us to Elbrig.
We'll tell Samson to take down, and instead of speaking Samson, we'll go ahead and try to bite him.
All right, go ahead and make an attack.
Samson has this. Nate's probably not gonna do it.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, he goes to bite, and you just see like him kind of like turn himself out of the way, as flustered as he is by the beautiful appearance of Terrawin. He
He's
still
not
sees the
totally-
enormous fucking mastiff just suddenly go and steps out of the way.
Mhm.
He doesn't want to get slobber on his armor.
All right, anything else?
That's all we can do.
All right. And that brings us to Terrawin. That is an 18. And that does hit. And that will actually be 6 damage. Oh, he is looking fucking rough. All right, and the scouts are all out. The grunts are all out. Nomad, your turn.
Nomad's going to run a little circuit around behind here.
Okay.
Flanking is a bitch, so I get advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Nomad is going to attempt to non-lethally smack this guy in the back of the head with his sword.
Okay.
Roll number 1. Number 2. Okay.
They're
Oh,
about
not a
as
crit.
non-lethal as an SPC.
Yeah, those hit.
Yes. Well, it is 1 attack. It's just that I had advantage.
Yeah.
Oh boy. 5 non-lethal damage.
He only had 4 HP. How do you want to do it?
Nomad, while this ex-soldier's attention is focused on our Blood Onyx companion, is going to swiftly run up behind him and, with the sword extending from his arm, just smack him right across the back of the head with the flat of the blade, making a resounding thwack sound, and he falls face first.
All right. And that will be the end of that, as he is now unconscious.
After that, Nomad is going to immediately turn to the unconscious cat and attempt to make a medicine check.
All right, go ahead.
To, at the very least, stabilize. Nomad doesn't know anything about medicine. or
Nomad knows
cats.
nothing about medicine or cats.
Yep.
But knows that she is bleeding profusely.
Nomad is going to look at his companions and say, "She requires healing. I do not know how to do that."
I need healing.
Khajiit needs heals and has coin.
I'll hop off of Samson and go ahead and give her the healing.
Give to me your heals.
You get 11 HP back. And at this moment, as the cat is saved, I'm going to say we're going to go ahead and take a break. Take a quick 5-minute break.
I'm
Get us
gonna
all.
go eat a banana,
You go do that.
because it's one of the very few things I can eat right now without wanting to throw up.
Fair enough.
in the memes channel.
Where is the memes channel?
It is in
Under
the
the bird
Discord.
cage.
It is between general chat and NSFW. Or if you don't have access to that one, room codes.
I swear to God, I can't leave y'all alone for 5 minutes. All right.
There it is.
So, you realize I can see that, right?
Damn it, I didn't think you were there yet.
Yes, I can see it.
Damn it.
It is on my
That was-
biggest monitor, motherfucker. I can see it.
Oh, in that case.
Don't you fucking dare.
You realize there is a text option.
Yes, and you realize, freehand. Hey, it came back.
Yes, because doing that
Aw.
also deleted Misty off the map.
Oops.
Oh my gosh.
She just disappears from existence.
Alright. So, as battle has concluded, you are all now circled around the unconscious, bleeding body of Merrick Stonesworn.
I believe that within my repertoire.
And there is still the slight blood trail now leading north to the unconscious, bleeding out body of Twinkle 2. And to the south is the bleeding body of the scout that fled as quickly as she could, but still is not seen she's making much headway.
Welcome back. Nomad would first take the weapons and accoutrement of this man without, fully stripping him, just taking his weapon and whatever other weapons he may have on him and putting them to the side to make sure that once he wakes up, he is not capable of, using those to hurt us, and then is going to...
Do an investigation for me real quick.
I will do this.
I'm just saying, while you're doing that, we probably should tie him up too, just because.
Okay.
Since we have the opportunity.
Fun fact, Nomad does not have rope.
I do.
So going through his various things, he doesn't really have too much in the way of weapons aside from that long sword.
Good.
There is a small knife that looks to be something more like a carving knife. You do also, however, find a letter.
Nomad would immediately read it.
It appears to be a letter that is yet to be sent, addressed to what you can only assume to be another member of his family, under the name Aethelos Stonesworn.
Right.
And it details out some of his regrets of life, mistakes he has made, and hopes and promises of possibly trying to do better, or to at least leave life with a shred of dignity.
I assume that while Nomad is reading this, Relogalore is tying him up.
Yes, I am tying him up.
May I search Twinkle that died in said bush?
Sure.
In this direction?
Yes.
I shall do that. We.
Nomad, upon realizing that the letter doesn't contain any information relevant to why they attacked us, would turn to Terowin, was his name?
By the way, real quick, Tiro, make an investigation check.
Yes.
Okay.
You'd only find some loose arrows from a quiver, a rather really worn short bow. his short sword, which also has nicks and pieces missing of the edge and hasn't really been well cared for. Going through the armor, it's all just patchwork of various things that he seems to have found and just scrapped together. And aside from that, just not much else on him. Not even a
Alright.
bit of coin.
That's fine. I take the arrows.
Okay, you now have an additional 6 arrows.
Yay.
Nomad would approach Terwin with the letter in hand. First, he would ask, "Are you all right? You took quite a few blows in the combat."
Terwin's kind of got a bit of staggered breathing, and you do see now that there is quite a bit of blood protruding from beneath the armor and flowing. But he kind of gathers himself and nods. Still hasn't sheathed his sword. He's still holding it tightly gripped in his hand.
Yes. Nomad would turn and look at the downed man and say, "The two of you seemed engaged. Did you know each other?"
Terwin just kind of stops for a moment and, no. No,
I
we
see.
don't. But his armor.
Nomad would nod. "A deserter, perhaps?"
That is old armor. He was a soldier once. And as he claimed his challenge, it is an honor to respect that challenge.
Nomad would not say anything and contemplate this for a second, as he doesn't really still fully understand that whole thing.
Mhm.
But would look to the south and say, "The other one, the second archer, escaped. She left a trail. She seemed to have been wounded by some other entity before leaving. Though I don't
Probably the
think she will
caravan they
bother us-
attacked.
Though I don't believe she will bother us again."
You see Terwin kind of look between the two of you and look back and nod. There were weapons on the ground. They fought back as best they could.
Nomad would nod.
And he just kind of stops for a moment and... We'll need to find her.
As this is all going on, they're talking about other stuff. I'm gonna go around and recollect all my arrows that I fired.
Just going corpse to corpse.
Yep, just pulling them out.
Alright.
Yank.
You reclaim a few of them. One of them is actually completely broken. So, minus one.
Okay.
After another second, Nomad would look down to the bound and unconscious ex-soldier and say, "I suppose we must wait for him to stir before we can ask questions, but it would seem that at least this band of bandits was behind the deaths of these citizens."
As you guys wait for him to return to consciousness, you do hear slight moans coming from the tree far to the
To the
east.
south? Oh, to the east?
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm gonna go out and investigate.
If Nomad hears that, he is going to immediately turn and then swiftly look at the others and then begin immediately going over there.
I want you to know that it is just like my brother to immediately investigate the moaning tree. Literally my brother's entire MO.
Nomad's mindset is, "Oh, the person who was being dragged appears to not quite be dead. We should save them."
So as you
So-
both approach, what you do see is 2 individuals. One is completely dead. The other one seems to be very much wounded, and also appears to have the same kind of ragtag thrown together armor as the rest of the individuals you just fought.
Are they conscious?
One is, the other is dead.
Yes. Nomad would kneel next to the conscious one and say, "Can you hear me?"
It appears to be a male elf from the looks of things, and he's just kind of looks up at you. Unfortunately, yes.
Nomad is going to sort of look him up and down and then say, "You are in no condition to fight or run. I will ask that you..." One second. Nomad does not pause here. I am trying to remember the word for this. Yeah, Nomad says, "I ask that you cooperate with our investigation."
You see him just kind of turn and looks over towards Merrick. Like I have a fucking choice.
Nomad would nod and say, "Why did you attack these people?"
You see him kind of sit for a moment. Because we were fucking hungry. That's all he gives you.
I'm gonna make an insight on that.
Okay.
20.
Woo! Very nice.
Give me a moment. There you go.
Nomad would consider this for a second and say, "These civilians, they were fetching water from the southern pool. Do you know anything about it?"
Well, we found them here. That's about all we know. We thought maybe they had food.
Do I need to make another insight check on that, or...?
I mean, you got the gist of what's going on.
Yes. Okay. Nomad would consider this for another second, and then stand up. Does he appear to be stable, or is he bleeding out?
It appears that he's slowly bleeding out, but otherwise he should be fine, as long as the bleeding gets stopped within like the next couple hours.
Nomad does not believe that is his decision to make, and is going to stand up and turn around and begin returning to the group.
It's about this time that Merrick is waking up. And you see him just kind of... Couldn't even kill me.
Nomad would ignore that, turn to Tarion and the rest of his party and say, "There are no survivors from the caravan, though there is another bandit. He does not seem long for the world, though."
You see Merrick's head kind of turn and... Volith! After a few moments, you hear a softer voice from the trees. Merrick? Surprised you're still alive? Merrick waits for a few moments and then... Tyrell, you understand particular languages?
Yes.
Merrick kind of turns his head towards Volt, and you see him kind of stir and shift slightly, like scooting himself up using his shoulders.
Mhm.
Tila vurda saveska. Volith.
I'm assuming I recognize that.
You understand it to a degree.
Hmm. Do I get a translation? And which one said this?
Merrick.
Merrick. Okay. I'm just gonna make a quick inspection site on Merrick.
Insight check or what?
Yeet. Perception on him. I just want to make sure that everything seems in order with him, how he's bound and everything.
Ropes are still pretty well secured.
Yep, I tied him up good.
And he
Then I won't.
just seemed to be
I'm just gonna
sitting up.
keep a close eye on him. Then I'm not gonna do anything.
I mean, you're free to make a perception check if you'd like.
I'll make one just for the shits and giggles of it. But
Presuming there's no more discourse between the two, Nomad would turn to
Yeah.
Tarion. That's a performance check.
That's a performance check.
Oh, I hit the one fucking right. God damn it. 17.
As you were.
What are you performing, motherfucker? I must know.
I'm gonna just, my performance is to run over here. Hold on. And I am now back on my mount. Congratulations.
Damn it.
Nay,
Nomad would turn to Tarion and say, "This is not part of what we planned for our investigation of the pool. I believe dealing with these individuals is under your authority."
Terwin just kind of takes a moment. And you see him kind of back up a little bit and then just kind of put a hand on his head. I need a moment.
Nomad would nod. Giving Tarion his moment, Nomad would turn to Merrick now and say, "Your accomplice told me that you attacked these people in hopes of finding supplies."
Merrick kind of shifts a little bit more, like kind of scoots his hips and turns and kind of looks at you. Well, when you're hungry and thirsty and tired and dirty, you make do with what you find. Sometimes you find better things than others.
Nomad.
Is he still shifting around?
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, he's like,
I'm
He's
gonna
like
walk over to him
from-
and check his hands.
Hang on, from what you see, Tyrell, yes.
Mhm. I'm gonna walk over and inspect his hands.
As you begin to walk over, you see him glance over at Terwin and then a nomad sees you walking over, and you see his left arm tense up. And he says,
like to take
repeats
it.
the same phrase he said before to Volith, who seems to be the elf under the tree. Repeats it again.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a motion to stop whatever he's doing.
You hear a crack come from his hand.
He broke his wrist.
So, 5, 10. Yeah. I'm going to need every single one of you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Yeah. 15.
Hand.
Really? Well, at least I had a +5 on that.
No, hold on.
Thank you.
What is going on? Was it a
I
7
lo-
or a 1? 'Cause I couldn't
I-
see.
I love how this thing gives me good rolls, and then the dice bounces off the corner of the screen and it goes to a low number. I watched it hit a 16, hit the corner, went boop, 5.
Alright.
I want you to know D&D Beyond is killing me with this shit.
Well, what happens?
Right.
I haven't had a good roll yet. What are you talking about?
Yep.
I think they hate me.
And it is a 4th level.
I want you to know that, in fact, D&D Beyond says, fuck poor Misted in particular. No 7-foot tall cats shall there be.
That's what I
It's
was
You
looking
know-
for.
Against the furries.
Random
I-
chance
I
is a
believe
heartless
it would-
bitch.
No, fuck it, I'll
Random
just
number
set it to, like,
generation
14,
is even worse.
because that'd be the easy. one
I know what
below
it
a
is. I forgot to
moderate.
pray to RNGesus.
So, actually, let me get.
So obviously this one's not going to count, but let's see what happens when I pray to RNGesus for strength.
And let's go ahead and.
It did not help me any.
RNGesus does not
go with
reply to
that.
heathens.
Somehow it got worse.
Fuck you. I'm
It's
no
9.
heathen.
Alright. We are waiting expectantly for how bad things are about to be.
Yeah, he's counting a lot of numbers I hear over there.
So,
Meanwhile, Jim can see what's going
the
on.
save on that was 14.
Son of a bitch. So no one got it.
Definitely.
I got it.
For everyone that succeeded, you take 14 points of fire damage. Everyone that didn't, you take 28 points of fire damage as a fireball erupts from his clenched fist.
Well, I'm knocked unconscious.
Wait,
I might
wait.
actually just be dead.
That was enough to knock me unconscious because I had exactly 28 for my max. I'm out. I'm unconscious.
No, that was like 17 over my current hit points.
How much is your maximum hit points?
I can't see it right now. 24, I believe. Yeah, 24.
You said the save was what was the save?
What
supposed to
is
be?
14.
your... So 28. How much did you have?
They're the ones that
11.
crowded all around him.
So you would be unconscious and bleeding out.
Mm-hmm.
Point out there.
What? Never mind.
Don't know how you want to describe this, but technically, as the eruption happens, Elbrig is coated by divine light or whatever, and is able to escape hurt but not unconscious, as favored by the gods, save me from failing the save.
All right.
So I take 14 damage and am still conscious, just very, very hurt.
All right. As for everyone else, for Elbrig, I believe is the only one still conscious.
Nomad is.
Nomad and Elbrig are the only two conscious. As this, you see this just muscle tense in his left arm, and this fireball just explodes out from him. You see that his body is just straight up incinerated.
Oh, so he self-destructed.
Mm.
Fuck, you pulled a cell. Nobody likes a cell.
But
Well,
you
at
did
least he
then
wasn't a
watch as
Yamcha.
everyone around him, excluding Nomad and Elbrig, excluding the two of you, is just knocked flat and out cold. And also, the bushes and trees are on fire.
Yay,
Okay, what?
everything's on fire.
Everything is awesome.
After that, Nomad is going to stand there in sort of stunned silence for a second. See everybody knocked down aside from Elbrig, and then turn. And this guy is now super dead, so he's going to turn and look to see what happened over by the elf.
The elf is sitting there cackling to himself. He's fully aware of what's coming to him.
It's a whole lot of dick kicking is what's coming.
But that
I
would
do not-
mean...
Nomad is not a vengeful type. I will
Tyrell,
say
you
this.
failed, correct?
Yep. Are you turning us sideways for that?
The world
Yes, you're
is
unconscious.
Oh, does that actually signify unconscious there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
It does
Nomad is
crap.
going to turn to Elbrig and say, "Do you have more healing? Any?"
Yes.
By the way, DM's note, Samson is fine.
Nomad is going to nod and say, "Give me one moment," and is going to walk back over to the elf
I'm
and
going,
just
instead of
stand there
giving him,
looking at him for a second.
instead of giving 1 moment, I'm gonna begin to heal people because they'll die very quickly.
Mhm.
I've got 3 spell slots left, so 1, 2, 3, 4 people are down.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep.
What do I have?
Mhm.
Yeah, I only have 3 spell slots left, so
I don't remember if Elbrig is aware or not. Patrick, do you remember whether or not he was there for that?
I know that there's a holy symbol on our cat friend, so I'm gonna go ahead and use my 3 slots to heal. First to get up, Misty.
Good choice.
So, Misty, since you're the other person who I think can heal, I'm not entirely sure, but you have holy symbol. I'm gonna go ahead and give you the 2nd level cure wounds. You're up with 18 hit points.
Oh, you beautiful man.
Then the guard who's next to me, just going quickest, the people closest to me, gets 12 hit points. And then moving over towards our Furbolg friend with my last spell slot. It's up with 11 hit points.
11, you said?
Mm-hmm. And then I turn to Misty and say, I'm helped.
What?
The rest, if you can, healing. and then I'm just going to lay on top of Samson as I am very, very badly.
Samson
Well,
smells a little bit singed, but otherwise, oddly enough, completely fine.
Yeah,
Well-
I'll freak out about that later. Right now, I'm hurting.
well, you know that I can't possibly let my favorite blue tiefling bleed the hell out. So we might need to do something about that. So here's what we're gonna do, because I love my favorite blue tiefling. We're gonna give him the old zippity zap and hope it's okay. It was not particularly great.
Well,
Hey, he's still up.
Tyrell has 7 health now.
I'm mad that that was a second level spell slot and only healed 7.
It happens.
These guys don't like you.
My surprise is that my heals have been very on point. They've been a few of them have been one off max, and others have been max.
Right?
I'm telling you, D&D Beyond legitimately hates 7-foot tall cats.
Naturally.
Apparently.
But, yeah. You see Terrawin kind of get back up and... Oh, that was unpleasant. Oh, that was very unpleasant.
Correct. Was hell unpleasant.
Nomad
Mr.
has walked over to the elf, who I assume is still laughing his head off.
So as you kind of approaching it closer, you realize that the laughing and the cackling has also kind of been not out of just joy, but also seems a little bit like he just snapped.
He's
Like,
lost his mind.
he's lost his fucking mind.
Nomad is going to ignore this and search him. Not gently.
Alright, make an investigation check.
Nomad is making sure that this man does not have anything else that can do what just happened. And he's not going to, like, do a once-over and then stop. No. He is checking everything this man has.
A full inspection, a cavity search, if you will.
Alright, well, since you're
There you
doing
go.
the full-on aggressive search, go ahead and do it with advantage.
Awesome. Well, how about that?
A natural 20.
Wow.
So,
This man ripped.
as
in
you
record
go
time.
searching through the cackling elf's belongings and apparel, and you do find his weapon, which is actually hidden underneath the corpse sitting next to him, which is a longbow, which is a beautifully made longbow, but seems more ornamental than anything else. You also do find that there is a sack of money attached underneath the corpse as well, which seemed to be stashed, which, upon opening, you do find an additional 23 gold pieces, as well as another 17 silver pieces. Continuing to search through his body, you come across
Nomad will... It was 27 and then 17?
23 and 17.
23 and 17.
Mhm.
Okay, hold on. 23... 17. Nomad just sort of, upon seeing there's nothing else in the pouch, is just going to pick up the pouch, put it on his belt, and continue searching. He'll think about that later.
As you're searching through him, and you kind of get, like, really rough with him at this point, which is
Oh,
odd
Nomad
for
has
you.
not been gentle.
Yeah, which is odd for Nomad, as this is an emotion of Nomad has not experienced yet.
Oh, yeah.
This is completely new and completely unbridled. And you just kind of, like, not even understanding your own strength, you just kind of throw him face first onto the ground. And as you do,
It's just a pop
you
up head.
grab a hold of his left arm and pull the sleeve up, and you see there's a bracelet with a single small gemstone attached to it.
Does it seem magical?
Yes.
Nomad is going to, at this point, gently remove the bracelet. He does not want what just happened to happen again.
This one is, and as you pull it off and kind of inspect it closer, it
Yep.
is a thin, almost like white silver thread passing through what looks to be a small, almost like slight sapphire colored gemstone.
Would I have any idea what this is at all, other than it's some form of magic that could be dangerous?
You'd have to make a check for that.
Shit.
That would be Arcana.
Nope.
No, but judging by what you just saw, not taking chances.
Yeah, no. Nomad is going to not even really put it in his pack. He's just going to put it in a pouch on his belt carefully.
hmm
And just and just finish off checking over this guy to make sure he doesn't have anything else dangerous.
All right, and as you're searching through and you kind of like are noticing a trend, you kind of peek over and like look at the left arm of the corpse that's on the ground next to him, and he also seems to have one of these strange threaded gemstones all around his wrist.
Yeah.
Also,
Nomad
this
is
one
going-
is blue or light blue in color.
Yes, Nomad is going to remove this as well, gently. And then, upon finishing his investigation of the insane elf, is going to just, like, stop for a second and think about what he just did. Like, actually think, like, why was I so rough? And then, after a minute, dismiss it. And seeing that the elf is now well and truly broken, is going to just is going to leave him for now and return to the group.
Okay.
He would come back and hold up one of the bracelets and say, I believe I found what was responsible for that blast. I'm sure if we check the others, they will also have similar items. And,
So
and
they're not just normal bandits. It seems.
I'm thinking how they work is basically you have to say a certain phrase word and it activates it magically and then it self-destructs. I'm thinking that's how it works.
Better yet, Nomad, can I hold one of those?
Nomad would nod and hand it over, and then as he hands it over, he would say, I do not want that to happen again. Let's be careful.
You see kind of Terwin watches you pass it over, and then a soft chuckle leaves him.
Okay, well we're gonna cast identify. Mr. DM, man, can you give me my details on that item?
Yeah, once you're done casting that spell,
I already did it.
how long does it take?
Wah, wah.
It's a 1 minute.
Okay.
In the meantime, Nomad is going to turn to Terowin and sort of say, and sort of like take a second and then say, the other one under the tree is broken. I'm not sure how the law works, but it may be best to put him out of his misery.
See Terwin
I call it.
kind of nod, and he actually walks over to you, Nomad,
Yeah?
and holds his hand out saying, were there any more?
Nomad would take the one out that he had gotten off of the elf himself, because he only got 2 while he was over there, yeah?
Mhm.
He would nod and take it out, and then gently hand it over, like, very purposefully and gently, like, I do not want that to happen again type of movement.
You see Terwin kind of takes it in his hand, chuckles again,
As you
and then hands it back and not even gently. It's not orange. it won't do that. And then walks off towards the tree, which he would be
Nomad would nod.
over there.
Mm-hmm. Nomad
And-
would nod, and not feeling the need to watch what's about to happen, he knows, is going to make sure that the rest of his party is okay.
And it's about this time that your identify finishes. And there you have it.
I'm gonna beat you up, you know that, right?
I'm almost afraid to ask who that was sent to. Who was that sent to?
Misty was identifying the aggressors, right?
She's
Okay.
saying it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, because what I got was the name of the item, but not a
Hang on.
description. Where
Hang on.
Just to clarify, I know exactly what this is.
I mean, yeah, but in character. Okay.
There you go.
Are you done, God? Have you
Yes.
spoken to me now?
God has spoken.
God has
And
spoken.
it's not what y'all think.
Okay. I'm gonna turn to Nomad, and I wouldn't worry too much about breaking these. The worst you're gonna do is accidentally see something you don't want to see. It seems like crushing these gems allows you to basically magically look at something within a 300-foot range.
As you guys are talking,
Hmm.
you see Terwin walk over to the tree, and then the laughing just abruptly stops.
About time.
Listen.
Nomad would kind of turn to look at everybody and sing that we're all beat up, and turn to look at the caravan and then sort of thinks for a second and says, "We may need to return to town before we continue the investigation. To report the deaths of the caravan and to regain our strength before we confront whatever we find at the pool."
Why not just take our rest, patch ourselves up, and do it all in one go?
I agree with Elbrick. We may not have time for this.
Because again, they seem like non-simple bandits, so we should at least, after taking a moment to patch ourselves up, get to the pool to see if there's reconnaissance. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. Reconnaissance on the pool before rushing back to town.
Nomad would nod and say, "Very well." Now, and would turn to the south. We have one more to find. And would begin walking off that way.
Alright. It doesn't actually
Oh,
take
man.
you too very long. As you
Alright,
go
I'll
for
follow him
about,
too.
about another 60 feet past where you last saw her, is a hill that drops down. And you kind of make your way towards it, following the drops and trail of blood. And you see this particular individual, and she is now laying at the bottom of the hill. and is now attempting to keep going by crawling.
Hang on,
Oh,
Mr.
jeez.
Nomad
Mr.
isn't
DM.
going to. Nomad isn't even going to approach. He's just going to shout out, "Your companions are dead. It may be in your best interest to surrender now."
You see her just kind of throw another hand out and slowly just keep dragging herself further and further away.
I'm gonna try and
Shaking his
intimidate to. Sorry, what?
Nomad just shakes his head in disbelief and continues walking after her to grab her.
Hang on, Mr. DM,
Oh,
man.
I was
Hmm.
I was
Well,
basically just gonna say I was gonna try to intimidate to emphasize on what Nomad just said, like, hey, listen to him. Just try and get her to stop, so we don't have to do anything.
hang on, Mr. DM, man. Whilst they are in pursuit of the creepy crawly, um, I'm I'm basically going to try and collect the remains of the poor townspeople. And I'm assuming that somewhere in the disheveled mass of the cart, I can find something to cover them with.
I mean, that would be an investigation check. And also, you'd have to pass by Terowin, who seems to be doing something.
Do something. Cool. Cool. Gee, I'd sure like to know what he was doing.
Wouldn't you, though?
I really would.
About a minute later, Nomad is going to be returning with a unshoveled and injured bandit under his arm.
And as you have now gathered her up and are carrying her back, you notice that the wound on her leg doesn't stop at her leg. It actually does, in fact, go from about the middle of her right thigh up the side of her hip and a little bit into her actual side. It was a pretty nice swing that got her.
Nomad is going to be bringing this person to Tarion for judgment. What he be doing, though?
So what you all are seeing now is Terowin is now at the head of what looks to be two of the corpses, and seems to be just kind of kneeling in place in front of them, and is just quietly sitting there, as it appears.
Nomad would walk to about here, unceremoniously drop the bandit, and say, "Tarion, I have gathered the last one."
No response. He still seems to be just sitting there.
Nomad would walk up just enough to like see his face and see what he's actually doing.
You see him kind of muttering something.
Context check. Could Nomad reasonably assume that he's muttering a prayer for the deceased?
Nomad's never seen this before.
Alright, should I make a perception check to see if Nomad can hear him?
Sure.
Nope.
It's just mutterings. He doesn't seem to have any religious symbols in his hands and doesn't seem to be doing much else. He just seems to be sitting there in front of the dead
Well-
bodies and muttering.
Well, in that case, not really knowing what's going on, Nomad would gently put a hand on his shoulder and say, "Tarion."
You see him kind of stop for a moment. And then he brings his right arm up across his chest with his palm facing inwards and his knuckles facing out, and just holds it there for a moment. And then stands up. It's Terowin, but Yes.
Oh, Terowin. I've been saying it the wrong whole time. Sorry. If Nomad knew that, he would not have been mispronouncing it. No, yeah, Nomad would say, "I've brought the last one. What should we do?"
You see him kind of turn and look at her. Well, all your friends are dead. You're not going anywhere with that wound. Why not have a bit more company after she has been relieved of any weapons or other stolen magical artifacts?
Nomad would nod and sort of go and take her weapons and the item which I assume she has around her wrist.
She has one around her left wrist.
Yes. He would do so and step back and let Terowin do whatever he decides.
By the way, for context, those of you that actually still have, which would be Mist and now Nomad with two of them, what you actually have in your hands is an item called the Minor Scrying Spellstone. If you crush it, you gain the ability to then cast the spell Scry for 30 seconds for 300 feet. And as you're done relieving her of her artifacts, items, and whatnots, Terowin will then walk up and kind of puts a hand on Nomad's shoulder. You can go drag the other one over here now.
Nomad would nod.
And
He
motions
would-
towards the tree.
He would go here, put down her stuff, and then go drag the other one.
Alright,
No.
you walk over and you find him
He
still
wouldn't
alive.
drag because that would take longer.
Yeah, you find him still alive. The elf is still alive.
Ah. Is he unconscious?
He's bound and gagged.
Nomad would pick him up.
Okay.
And start hauling him back over.
Alright. And he
And-
looks to Misty, Albrig, and Terowin does, and what say you lot? What are we to do?
How much would Nomad know about the laws of Vanaru from what he's read? Would he know enough?
Depending on context, would just be either an intelligence check for memory or a history check for just understanding.
Let's go with history check. 11.
In regards to
What is the generally accepted punishment for being a bandit and murdering innocent people?
typically it would be death.
Nomad would look at Terowin and say, "We still have to investigate the pool. We probably don't have time to be dragging two convicts around for proper judgment."
You see him kind of
Right. So we should
nod.
probably.
Wait, we have two convicts?
Mhm.
Who's the
It
other
would be
one?
a lot easier to move around if we didn't have them. So
Well,
yeah,
there was
there's that option.
the elven girl, not even woman, but elven girl, who fled to the south during the battle, and also the elven male that started cackling and lost his fucking mind on the tree. Terowin did not kill him.
Yeah.
He bound him and gagged him.
I suppose technically we should like I don't know. We still have to go check out that pool. So if there's a way of like leaving them here and having somebody guard them, and then the rest of us like maybe have the guy in the red and black armor have him guard them. We go check stuff out and see if we can find the pool and investigate it.
Wouldn't work.
No, that's against the terms of the contract we signed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's
Specifically,
right.
he's
Fuck.
escorting us so that he can make sure that we do what we're supposed to. And
That's
this
right.
wasn't exactly on the list of things we were meant to do. It just kind of happened.
Right.
I'm gonna turn to our lovely military man. How far away is the southern pool?
You see him kind of stop and look around for a bit. From where we are now, probably another 2.5, 3 hours walk.
Hmm.
What time of day is it?
This point is probably closer to midday. As you guys all did leave really early in the morning, because you guys were up by like 6:30 and left out of there by like 8. So
Nomad
at this
would
point,
say-
it'd be about noon, 1 o'clock.
Nomad would look around at the party and say, and Terwin, and say, we should take a rest before we continue, but before that, we should deal with these two.
How about we kill them?
I second that motion. It would just make things simpler.
Side note, Nomad doesn't say anything about this, but he was trying to not say that outright.
Well, what other option do we have at this point, you know?
I mean,
Yeah.
like taking them with is not. It's not really an
Yeah, that's
option.
just gonna slow us down.
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, I mean, we are not the law. We were sent here to investigate something. If we do this, we're rogue. Like,
No, we are not rogue.
True.
We had every right to kill them. They
Yes.
literally almost killed us.
Yes.
They are also bandits and they've
It-
killed
True,
innocents.
but at this
Okay,
point,
just
yes,
to
but at this
recap.
point, they're technically not a threat to us. We'd basically be killing somebody who is completely unarmed and unable to
Exactly.
defend
Let,
themselves.
let me
At
put
this
it this way.
point, yeah,
We fought them because they attacked us. That is legal. They attacked us, self-defense, fair play. They also killed innocent people, and we were on the side of a actual member of the military. Everything we have done so far is fine. It's just a question of they are going to die. That is the punishment for their crime. Do we kill them now, or do we try to wait and somehow bring them back to town for a proper execution? Is the thing.
Oh, okay.
I
just
think
real-
the idea. I think the general
Yes, that-
consensus right now is that we should just get it over with.
So,
Right.
just to be
However,
clear,
like we just
Heroin-
established before already. We
However,
don't.
Terwin, being the actual military man, is the only one here that really has the authority to deliver such judgment.
So we basically just give him the axe and say, "Here you go."
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. Is we, the party, do not have the legal authority to do this. If we had killed them while fighting them, that's
Yeah.
one thing because it is self-defense. To kill an unarmed person,
Yeah, but
is
then
wrong.
no, it isn't.
Well, it's not
Yeah.
so much that they're unarmed and we would be killing them unprovoked. It's that they now are bound, and
I know,
them
I
being alive is the issue. But the act of killing them would be passing judgment, which is
Oh, I know, but
Terwin's
Misted, Misted would. That's what I'm saying. Misted would be a big no. Like to her, that's killing an unarmed person is a no.
Yeah, because of you being you.
Nomad
well, Misted being
I'd have
specifically. Nomad specifically feels that Terwin should be the one in this situation making the judgment. As it
Alright,
is,
we're going around in circles.
Yeah,
Terwin,
that's him.
make the judgment so we can start patching ourselves up and get.
yeah, I think Terwin may have just pulled some people around.
But to
you
state
see
the facts.
Terwin
Hold
come
on.
back, and then kind of like points a finger and like passes a finger over each one of you, and then over the two of them. and then looks between the two, and then looks at the rest of you. How do you suppose it is they got here?
What do you mean?
You see him then draw his sword and just plunges it straight through the male elf. Just dead. On the spot.
Ignoring that, Nomad is going to say, perhaps they resided nearby and preyed on whatever they could find. It is
Right, so they
the
probably have
impression
a
I
cat.
got from whatever brief conversation there was.
And you see Terwin kind of think for a
So
moment,
right,
and then goes and lifts up the elven girl. And he just kind of stops for a moment, removes the bindings off of the male elf, and then proceeds to kind of pocket them or stash them on the side, and then points around towards the south. What were you running towards?
Well, then there was the other guy who tried to run north.
Let me see how far he got. She seemed more determined.
Right.
And now that you all kind of like have a visual on her, she's rather small for an elf. And Terwin, then you see him reach over and grab what looks to be a board from off the ground and places it against her right leg inside. And then takes some of the binding and ties it tightly around her leg, attaching the board to her leg. Perhaps one should be left alive to atone in a test.
Nomad would say, it is your decision. I will comply with whatever you think is best.
On the off chance she may have more information to give. Best not to execute everyone.
This is true.
And also, as we have seen proven, she's
Shall we
not going
insert-
anywhere quickly.
Yes, buddy. Juice. Yes, buddy, you can.
Nomad would
Should we try it?
turn to the party and then look back in Terwin and say, for now, we should rest and recover before continuing.
You see him kind of nod and perhaps we come back for her. The pool is not too far. The day is still early. And she's not going anywhere anytime soon.
Is she bleeding profusely from that wound, or is she
It's-
looked like she's gonna be?
It's pretty bad, but looks like she should survive. And she's already been stripped of all of her weapons and
Keyword should.
whatnot.
Okay.
All right. Time for a 1-hour short rest.
I forget how much we heal for a short rest.
You can, during a short rest, you can roll up to half of your level's hit dice. So for level 3, we would be able to roll 1, because it's rounding down. So roll
when
1 of your hit die and add your Constitution modifier. That is how much you can use.
I
believe.
Is that a house rule?
I believe that is the actual rule. Let's see. Oh no, you can spend up to the maximum.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. I thought it was half. That might have been from a different system. I know too many role-playing systems for my own
I was gonna
good,
say
let's be
that one.
honest.
That one sounds like Pathfinder. Also,
A short rest is a period of downtime at least 1 hour long, during which a character does nothing more that strenuous than eating, drinking, reading, and tending to wounds. A character can spend 1 or more hit dice at the end of a short rest up to the character's maximum number of hit dice, which is equal to the character's level. For each hit dice spent in this way, the player rolls the die and adds the character's Constitution modifier to it. The character regains hit points equal to the total. The player can decide to spend additional hit die after each roll. The character regains some spent hit dice upon finishing a long rest, as explained below. Regains
Wait,
spent...
So, in other words,
Oh, that's what I was thinking of. During a long rest, you regain spent hit dice up to half. That's what I was thinking.
okay. So by not using the entirety of those hit dice right now, if we have another short rest later, I would have the ability to use them again, like the
Yes.
leftover.
Yes, that is the idea. It
Okay.
would be wise to use all of your healing spells before you rest, however. Oh no, wait, you're a cleric. Your spells don't refresh on a short rest. That's my bad.
how unfortunate for you.
Sorry, warlock privilege.
Eat my dick.
But you see Terwin kind of like look to Misty and motion her over during the rest.
Please.
Okay.
All right. So during the rest, we already established it is all of the hit dice that you have to your max level, right?
Well, it is
To
up
do the heal for the short rest.
So each character has a number of hit dice equal to their level. The dice, the actual die it is the die that you base your HP rolls off of. So for rangers, I believe it is a
Yeah.
D10. For
D10,
sorcerers,
looking
is
at
a
the book.
D6. For warlocks and clerics, it is a D8.
Hey, I hit automatically apply and it did not automatically apply. I don't know what the roll was.
Mariah.
So,
Okay, cool. And I still have one hit die left.
No.
so Nomad would be spending 2.
Ryan, no.
Oh, whoops, hold on.
As
I
everyone
didn't realize there was
figures out
actually
their
a
healing.
button for this.
Yeah, there's a button for it. You just click short rest at the top of your character sheets in D&D Beyond.
I mean, I did that, but like it didn't automatically apply, and I don't see the math. Like I don't see the breakdown for the roll.
Yeah, I don't.
It's like,
That's odd.
That's why you turn off the automatic apply.
Yes.
but what? The whole point is for it to automatically add it.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to actually roll it.
Yeah,
If
like
you-
it's
if
not
you-
showing me the roll.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't for some reason. Hold on.
It says relevant abilities have been reset, but it didn't heal me. And of course, none of my abilities are relevant, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, that might be a little buggy. Do it manually, I think, is the option here.
So manually was 1d8 plus 2. Okay. How do I do a custom roll?
Just go to the bottom and roll d8, and then add your con mod manually in your mind, with your brain. You have one of
Congratulations.
those.
I heal for shit.
That's plus your con mod.
I know. I heal for shit.
What's your con mod?
Yay!
+2.
Guys, I got a good roll.
Oh, it's fine.
I healed 10 HP.
Sorry for my disappearance. I return now.
Welcome back.
Hello.
They
what
are
happened?
discussing whether or not to execute both of the, the now one remaining prisoner of these
And
bandits.
and
Why
And
is that?
Mystic would
also
like
being
to do that.
confused about
Right.
also being a little confused about D&D Beyond's resting system because it's not
behaving.
it's not working the way I think they want it to.
Also, Misted is
You take
definitely
short rest.
rinsing a heckin' stinking fuss because no, you're not gonna execute the girl.
Did
Just
we
so we're
take a
clear.
short rest?
Yes.
We took a short rest.
Excuse me. I have to take a short rest.
Anyway, so an hour has passed. During the hour, I assume we are discussing what to do. I think what Terwin is suggesting is that we leave her for the time being, because she's not going anywhere. And there is a possibility that some time might give her clarity into the fact that she's kind of got nothing else to do but give information. And it is
Question right
quite
quick.
possibly
Did
her
we search
one
her to
chance
see
to
if
do
she
so.
had anything on her person?
I already did that.
Question: did we check to see if she had anything? Oh, you did.
Yes. Yes. Nomad already removed all of her equipment, including the scrying bead that she had.
Gotcha.
Does anybody want to hold on to those? The beads?
I'll hold on.
I guess I will.
Alright.
So,
I think there's...
by the way the short rest feature works is you click on short rest, then you have to manually click the number of boxes that are unchecked as of yet, then hit the whatever D whatever at the bottom that pops up with the heart next to it. Roll that with automatically apply healing with dice result, then take short rest, confirm, and then it adds it in.
No, it doesn't. Hit that.
Did you already
Okay.
have boxes checked before you did it?
Yes.
Okay. Hold on.
I can see your roll. It says 6, but did it apply it?
It applied it for me. I just didn't realize I could use more than one in one
One second.
rest.
I am testing this by currently changing some things around. I'm going to set my health back to what it was. I just want to see how this works now.
Yeah, so it applied for me. It worked for me.
It didn't for me, and I was getting irritated.
Okay, yeah, it works.
Well, then why the poop? It did, buddy.
Alright, so
It's a little confusing. Let's move on. Does the group agree during the short rest that leaving the final surviving bandit here, seeing as how she's not going anywhere, is the best course of action for now?
We already agreed to allow Taro to pass judgment. Why are we rehashing this?
Alright. In that case, after the short rest, Nomad would stand up, because he's just been sitting down this whole time for an hour, not moving, and would turn to Terwin and say, "Shall we continue?"
you see him kind of nod and go, "But first," and then proceeds to drag her and himself over to that tree and then use the excess rope to tie her to the fucking tree.
Yep, makes sense.
There you go. Perfect.
You vacuum?
Then I presume we begin trekking south again to get to the pool.
And this is rather uneventful.
Agreed.
And after about another 2.5 hours of walking, you will arrive at the southern pool. And it activities there that we will be picking up at the next session, which may or may not be next week.
No.
Sick.
Oh.